Hello friends, I hope you all are doing well. Myself Neeraj Nachiketa, Faculty of Science and Technology and Environment. I will be going through important topics of examination, and one by one we will discuss everything which are relevant for the coming exam. I hope you all are doing well. Now the topics, if you know from exam point of view, UPSC Civil Service exam, they are very dynamic. An aspirant has to know basic concepts, at the same time relate to the current affairs. So it is a mix of static and dynamic areas. If you recall the topics which have been listed in the syllabus in Science and Technology, it clearly outlines that a general understanding of basic science, at the same time whatever the developments are there in the field of science and technology and applied to day-to-day life. Now this topic is relevant not only for prelims exam but also main exam. GS3 paper in main exam, UPSC asks 3 to 4 questions in science and technology. Preliminary exam you will find around 15 to 16 questions, MCQs are asked in the exam. Environment and ecology, another important component of the examination. And here again UPSC asks question from static part and dynamic part. You will find in the question papers there are questions which have been directly coming from the current news. At the same time there are questions which are connected with fundamental concepts with the current affairs. Both the topics also require a very good understanding of government initiatives, programs, whatever scientific organizations in India or worldwide, and whatever latest developments in the field of science and technology, an aspirant must be aware of it. Even the questions are asked on that level. Similarly, global environmental challenges, environmental problems at the national level, an aspirant has to be aware of that. Environment is a very important topic from administration point of view. Global warming, climate change, ozone layer protection, various pollution problems like now plastic and Great Pacific garbage in the ocean, where thousands of tons of garbage being littered around, causing problem to marine life. Environmental ecological aspect, ecosystems like forest, grassland, desert, aquatic ecosystem like rivers, lakes, wetlands, oceans, marine ecosystem, they are all getting affected because of rapid development of human and human activities, economic use, right, urbanization, population growth, all those issues have now come up. Biodiversity, wildlife, and the rapid decline in species and their population. Number of scientific reports are saying that the earth is going towards 6th mass extinction. If global warming continues, climate change impacts, the way human is developing, habitat loss, habitat degradation, the way hunting, poaching, illegal wildlife trade. So one day, thousands and thousands of species will be wiped out. All this comes in the newspaper, the Hindu newspaper, Indian Express newspaper, it all covers in that area. And UPSC asks question in this area, right? You'll find questions are being asked there. And those things which people are aware of it, there the questions are being asked. So current news become very important from environment point of view. Similarly, satellite launch by ISRO, PSLV, GSLV, now small satellite launch vehicle, whatever missiles, rocket systems, right, naval systems, radar, sonar, different type of defense equipment, weapons, military technology developed by DRDO, developed in India and for India's safeguard, security point of view. Biotechnology development, various type of crops, animals, hybrids, crossbreed, interbreed, now GM crops. Nowadays you know that mustard variety, GM mustard is making headline, DMH11. Biotechnology is a broad area. It also encompasses in terms of medical healthcare, recombinant vaccines, right? Then you know that not only vaccines, medicines, sometimes hormones, agricultural biotechnology, not only GM crops or crops of biofertilizers, biopesticides, a lot of interventions are there in the field of agriculture, industrial biotechnology, fermentation technology, energy, bioenergy. Again, biotechnology is going to transform industrial processes. Environment, again creative biotechnology, like DNA barcoding to identify species of animals and plants. Right? Even you are all have a forensic biotechnology, law and order, DNA profiling, DNA fingerprinting, and all these are relevant topics. Whatever you cover from the theory point of view, applications, again linking with current affairs, different type of therapies, stem cell therapy, gene therapy, right? Whatever new things are coming up from the medical biotechnology and agriculture, industrial, whichever branches of biotechnology, they all become important. So the dynamic of the exam and the things which come in the newspaper, you have to be thorough with it. Health, disease, then nanotechnology, robotics, AI, blockchain technology, even ICT, computing, 5G, big data, even computing field, supercomputers, quantum computing, all are there in the headlines, right? So if you look at the vastness of science and technology is huge. Although there are some major topics are there, but within the major topic, UPSC can ask anything, and that's why it is challenging part, right? And particularly for those aspirants who are coming from non-science background, let's say humanities background, arts background, commerce background, they find it difficult to solve questions and even to write answers in the mains exam. But you don't have to worry. I'm going to cover these topics in a sequential order and connecting with every aspect of that. We'll see the multi-dimensions so that in the exam hall, you are very confident to solve questions. Same way, environment ecology will also cover in such a way that you are able to know each and every aspect and you don't have to worry about. So this is the first introductory session so that you are aware what we are going to have sessions one by one. So let me write few things on the green board. So let's take here environment and ecology. Now environment and ecology, I will divide into different chunks of subtopics where continuously last 11-12 years of examination UPSC is asking question. So which are those areas which you have to give a lot of importance? Let's see that. So environment ecology here, the first very important aspect which comes here is wildlife. Now you know that cheetah, Indian cheetah is extinct. The central government brought African cheetah from Namibia to Kuno National Park in Madhya Pradesh. So this is all has made headlines, right? It has been given a lot of importance by the central government. Apart from cheetah reintroduction program, there are many other wildlife in India which are making headlines, like Great Indian Bustard, GIB, Himalayan brown bear, snow leopard, different type of birds like black-necked crane. So all such areas where UPSC can ask question and there can be facts, direct facts, and we have to be aware of this. Whatever the projects are there, then the initiatives by the central government, state government, then even programs. One has to be aware of it. Recently in the Supreme Court asked the central government, about the project Great Indian Bustard, because many of the GIB get killed by electric cable, overhead wires, and you all know that now GIB is now localized only in desert part of the country like Rajasthan and few parts of Gujarat. There was a time when GIB was found in MP, then Rajasthan, Gujarat, Andhra Pradesh, Maharashtra, but now the population has dwindled. So again, every aspect on that. Critically endangered bird of India. So let's say here, in this context comes IUCN Red Data Book. International Union for Conservation of Nature, which brings this kind of publication. It has an entire compendium of information about threatened plants, animals, algae, fungi, all throughout the worldwide. And the questions are really relevant from Indian perspective. So we'll be discussing those areas which have made headlines. Right? Which have made headlines, we'll be discussing that. We'll be going through all such parts there. Right? So let us, this is one area where you can get question there, one or two questions there. If you review previous year question papers, again you will find number of questions being asked. Linked with area, there's another area comes here, protected habitats, protected area networks. You know that from Wildlife Protection Act 1972, in situ conservation, ex situ conservation, the central government has notified, even the state government notifies sanctuaries. Then comes national parks, biosphere reserves. Now, you know the Ramsar sites. Now the list of Ramsar sites have increased. What are Ramsar sites? Wetlands of international importance. Right? Again, from biodiversity perspective, from ecosystem perspective, wetlands become very important. You will get direct or indirect questions on that. Tiger conservation, Project Tiger, tiger reserves, like Tamil Nadu has declared Sri Villiputtur Megamalai, the new tiger reserve. Now the new tiger reserves are being notified. Even elephant reserves, new areas are making headlines, like biodiversity heritage sites, BHS. So from mapping point of mapping, or what I'll write here, biogeography. You have to know from geographical perspective, and then you have to connect with the biodiversity part. National parks, sanctuaries, biosphere reserves, all those things will be there. Tiger reserve, elephant reserve, protected forest, reserve forest, community reserve, conservation reserves, ESZ, CRZ, a lot of things are there. So here, one has to do in terms of mapping part, and also must know important flora and fauna, rare, endemic, threatened species of plants and animals found in such ecosystems and habitats. They become relevant for examination there, right? So this topic, you have to be thorough with it. We have to go through it one by one. So I'm adding here another topic here which is relevant for the examination, that is in terms of global warming and climate change. And you know that COP, Conference of Parties, India being a member party of UNFCCC, United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change. So our initiatives to fight climate change. And nowadays you'll find continuous questions are being asked. Sometimes alliance, sometimes groups, sometimes major decision taken at the COP, like Sharm el-Sheikh, Egypt, COP27, loss and damage fund has been proposed. Those small countries, the least developed countries, island nations which are vulnerable to climate change impacts, they will get the money and the fund to fight climate change, to adapt, to mitigate climate change impacts. So what about global development? Plus what India is taking as initiatives, various schemes, programs, action plan like NAPCC, National Action Plan on Climate Change. Those things have to be again remembered. We'll be going through all those areas. So I've listed the major topic here. Then comes here the next thing, what what becomes really important, again questions are being asked regularly. Pollution topics, environmental pollution, air pollution, water pollution, land pollution, nuclear pollution, hazardous waste, electronic waste, biomedical waste, right? All those pollutants and waste materials going to our ambient environment and the health impacts, other type of water pollution, we have to be aware of it. And UPSC can ask question from any of such areas. So we'll be going through that, like land degradation and desertification. Then air pollution, stubble burning of Delhi, the part of the pollution of Delhi. But that is only one aspect. Delhi air pollution has several other aspects. Government program, National Clean Air Program. Then initiative like AQI, SUFFER, a lot of other areas are there. Control of industrial pollution, vehicular pollution, Bharat Stage 6. Control of agriculture pollution. Then now radioactive nuclear waste management, nuclear pollution. Right? All those things which are a lot of pollution here. And whatever critical issues are there, the impacts, cause, impacts, then mitigation, solution, government initiatives. One have to be aware of that. Various conventions to tackle the pollution at the global level. Maritime pollution, now plastic pollution. So all these have to be aware of, right? So this becomes a bit, and in this one can also add various waste management, various type of waste management. And there are guidelines and the rule under Environment Protection Act 1986. Central government has notified various rules are there, and they have been amended also there, and that become relevant for the exam. Not only this one also has to be aware of the part of other issues which are there, like ozone layer, ozone depletion. Protection of ozone layer, stratospheric ozone layer, Vienna Convention, Montreal Protocol, now the Kigali Agreement. UPSC can ask question on that. So then, ocean acidification. Because of more concentration of carbon dioxide gas and the ocean water as a carbon sink, taking up those kind of a pollutant, right, and the carbon dioxide gas being diffused, and then the acidification of ocean, impact on coral reefs, marine life, all these are there. Acidification, acid rain, formation of acid rain, and the impact of acid rain on land and water, right? Any kind of such, then this one, land degradation and desertification. Another important area from exam point of view. Any global such environmental issue, and again current affairs, linking with current affairs, right? One must be aware of it, and UPSC can ask question from any such areas. Whatever global initiatives taken, whatever national initiatives taken, they all become relevant for the examination. So I will take all such current news which have made headlines and we'll discuss them. I've just listed the broad areas. Now from a static point, there is ecology, ecosystem concept, food chain, food web pyramid, ecological succession, biotic interactions, ecosystem productivity. They are a static area. So initially what you have to do, go through the syllabus, learn the syllabus, right, and go through each and every static part, theory part. Then it will become very easy for all of you to understand current aspect, because current aspects are dynamic, and the exam point of view, current aspect become important, but you have to be thorough with the syllabus. So I would assume that all of you have gone to basic syllabus, have read all the textbooks and materials, you know each and every concept, and you are thorough with the technical terms. Then in that case, any current aspect on environment will become relevant. Right? Now let's look at science and technology. So I have mentioned that one area comes general science. In general science, one of the very important aspect is the biology part. But again, UPSC is asking applied biology. Although one question you may get from core area, like there was a question about difference between plant cell and animal cell from cell biology. But again, if you look at genetics linked with biotechnology, health and disease again linked with current aspect, right? So those areas of biology which are connected with the application to day-to-day life and also current aspect, there the UPSC asks, particularly biotechnology and health and disease. But I'll connect here. If you look at science and technology prelims exam, you have at least minimum 15 questions. That depends on the year to year. Average you will get that. And again, the topics which are being asked, like one topic is the space and astronomy, space science and astronomy. Like in the mains exam, there was a question about James Webb Space Telescope of NASA. Recently, Orion spacecraft has carried out Artemis 1 mission. So NASA, ESA, JAXA, then China is trying for manned mission with the construction of space station. China CNS. ISRO also makes headlines. Our own space agency, ISRO, and their development part. So anything coming to astronomical science, astrophysics, then space technology, questions are being asked. Then again, defense topic, defense technology, whatever latest, again remember that whatever questions are asked in defense technology are all in the news and current aspect. Although you must know what is a missile, what is a space, what are the fighter crafts, you must know basic terms and the different types, but again, whatever have made headlines, that become relevant for examination. Then coming to here, another thing which I have already mentioned, this biotechnology. 3 to 4 questions are being asked in biotechnology. Just review previous year question papers. Number of questions are being asked. Then again another thing which always in the news, health and disease. Diseases, COVID-19 pandemic, then monkeypox was in the news. But communicable diseases are again many. Now the Mumbai outbreak of measles, that was in the headlines. But if you go past, Ebola, Nipah, swine flu, all have been there. COVID-19, the pandemic where the world has now recovered from it. But now again, China, COVID-19 in the China, again the issues have come up. Right? Anything on health and disease, cancer, non-communicable diseases, genetic disorder, hemophilia, sickle cell anemia, right? Then about the non-communicable disease such as lifestyle disease, diabetes, hypertension. Again, one of the another focus area, mental illnesses, right? Schizophrenia, Alzheimer, those kind of areas there. Then government schemes, government programs, Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. Now we have a separate Ministry of Ayush. Those traditional medicine system. So UPSC can go into any such areas from the exam point of view. Then what comes here? Another very important area, ICT, Information Communication Technology. Again 2 to 3 questions are being asked in the prelims exam from communication technology. Wi-Fi, VLC, visible light communication. Then VoLTE, voice over LTE, near field communication technology, WiMAX. Now what is making headline? 5G. UPSC has asked question about IoT, Internet of Things. And these all are emerging areas where questions are being asked. So here ICT, and then ICT you can connect with advanced computing. Like for example supercomputers, use of supercomputers. UPSC has asked question about quantum computers, quantum computing, quantum communication, and that is making headlines. Even Nobel Prize has been given for that entanglement, quantum entanglement. A lot of areas are emerging in quantum technology, and UPSC can ask question on that. Any future things which will be there for computation, AI, artificial intelligence. Now metaverse, right? Metaverse, virtual reality, right? Then augmented reality, then mixed reality, XR, MR, AR, VR. Meta is into that kind of area. Future technology, which will be the part of human life. UPSC is asking question on that. Then coming to here, another this new technology, which I said, new and emerging technologies. So here, if we take new and emerging technologies, it includes robotics, the field of robotics. Now AI robot are humanoids, like Sophia is one of the example, but there are many other humanoids have been developed. There are many use of robotics in industries, now agriculture and all this, drone technology, remotely operated vehicles, even deep sea mining, the submersible and all this, all are making headlines there. So again, robotics, AI, big data, cyber physical system, nanoscience and technology, nanotechnology, all such areas, laser, then now you hyperloop, bullet train, and now the hyperloop technology. Hyperloop, there is Elon Musk and all this, the high speed transport system. So this again are all relevant for the exam. Then apart from this, energy. Again, UPSC continuously asking question from energy, both non-renewable and renewable, conventional and non-conventional. Nuclear power, nuclear technology, right? Nuclear technology is linked with defense, security, then again energy security, right? Again the nuclear technology used in medical science, treatment of cancer, agriculture, like a hybrid variety of crops, food processing, irradiated food, industrial use of technology. So nuclear, thermal, now critical technology in thermal power plant. Then renewable, solar power, wind power, biomass power. Then emerging area of ocean technology, OTEC, ocean thermal energy conversion, that is a future technology. Tidal power. Now what is making headline? Geothermal, Ladakh, the first geothermal power plant to be set up in India. Again geothermal energy. Again in the field of energy, both renewable and non-renewable, new areas like shale gas, coal-based methane. These are non-renewable, natural gas, methane gas, gas hydrate. But again renewable form, biofuel, biodiesel, bioethanol. And India has achieved target of the blending of 5% of bioethanol, ethanol blended petrol, EBP, biodiesel. Number of biorefineries are being set up in India. We have now biofuel policy, national biofuel policy. That is a renewable biome coming from biomass. Hydrogen, green hydrogen, grey hydrogen, brown hydrogen. Hydrogen is a source of energy. And we can obtain hydrogen from various methods. That's why the name is given. Green, brown, grey. And hydrogen, again, this is the future. Hydrogen fuel cell technology. Hydrogen as electrolyte used in batteries. Hydrogen mixed with CNG. Liquefied hydrogen using cryogenic technology. One example is rocket technology, GSLV. Multiple use of hydrogen, either gas or liquid, solid, or even the frozen state. And again from renewable energy point of view. abundance of hydrogen. But they're advanced technologies, they're evolving. Our scientists are working, worldwide development. Government has come up with a mission program on hydrogen. And that's where the question could be there. Apart from all this, what comes in the Hindu paper, Indian Express, right? Then Science Reporter, Down to Earth magazine. But you have to again focus on PIB, Press Information Bureau. Whatever ISRO, DRDO, BARC, DBT, Department of Biotechnology, DST, Department of Science and Technology, whatever the projects are there, like ITER project, then LIGO project on gravitational wave, ITER on fusion power, hydrogen, again hydrogen comes, use of hydrogen in the fusion power, what happens sun and star and generate electricity, all such mega science projects. Again, if you see, it's very broad, very vast, and UPSC can ask any question from anywhere. But you don't have to worry about. You don't have to worry about. I am going to cover all important topics one by one. Today I am just giving a general view which you all are aware, so that it can set up the momentum for our future classes with all relevant important topics which can help you crack the exam, right? To solve the question paper. And it does matter, 15-16 question science and technology and 15-16 questions from environment ecology, 30 plus questions. Almost you can say 1/4, more than 1/4 part of the entire question paper of GS1. Out of 100 questions, imagine 30-32 questions. If you can solve more than 20 questions, you have an edge in the competition. And this can help you qualify prelims exam. Mains exam will be direct question. What is nanotechnology? Discuss application of nanotechnology, robotics and all those kind of COVID-19, the vaccine, different types of vaccines. There you have to write in 150 words, 250 words. Mains exam won't be difficult. The most challenging is prelims exam, right? So I've just listed here so that you are aware of this one. And as I'll start the topic, I'll give you relevant sources to refer, where and how you should go ahead and can remember the facts and can remember the things and all. You will be guided. That will be with respect to each and every topic, right? So I hope this makes sense to all of you, and we will start with the topic one by one, and will be very interesting. Will be really very interesting. You all will enjoy the classes. At the same time, you learn a lot of new things. And what is my motive, my objective? To make you all comfortable, right? So don't worry, we'll be getting to the topics one by one, and wherever the doubts are there, we will be always taking up the doubts, right? So I hope this clarifies the things. But my humble request to all of you is that please revise all fundamental basic concepts. Please go through the syllabus. Whatever you have studied, self-study, or from some materials, or from textbook, or from current affairs, or classroom program, please revise and come. This will make our task easier, right? So with this, we will be ending this session. Please be prepared and go through all the basic syllabus part of environment ecology. All right. So I am glad to be part of here and discussing all the things, and you will be getting every aspect of that. So please take care of your health. Keep reading, keep preparing, keep your motivation high till we meet again. Thank you everyone. Take care. Bye-bye.